Hello, everybody. This is Scott Hudspeth with Agent Mastermind. Welcome to the call. I want to wish everybody a happy holidays and very Merry Christmas. Hope everybody's off this week, just kind of tuned in today just to hang out with us for an hour or so. I got some really good stuff. 2016 is upon us, and, man, it's coming fast. Fast and furious. Vicki, I've been trying to postpone it, to kind of like slow it down, and I just haven't found a way to do that. So I'm moving forward, and I'm going to hopefully help you to do the same. Got some big goals for 2016, and I'm hoping to hear some of yours. Got a little assignment for you guys. If you want to do it with me, I would love for you guys to participate. So let's get started. If you're joining us for the first time, we make sure you go to our facebook.com/groups/Agent Mastermind. We're almost at 16,000 and growing. A lot of great content. I do have to say that next week we're gonna have a class. It's gonna be marketing to your database. I wouldn't miss it. And also the second week of January. Mark this on your calendars if you've been paying attention at all on the group. Drones, the legality of it. Is it legal? How do you get legalized? How do you do it? I am talking to a company that does it for a living. They legalize people to use drones, and you're going to be very excited about it. You're going to want to be on that class. Talked to him this morning. He's going to be on with us. He's putting a PowerPoint together for us. He actually has a special FAA employee that does nothing but work for them. They're so big, so they're really good at doing this. Really excited about that. I'm not going to spoil the good news because I don't want to do that. I want you guys to show up and see it. All right, so here we go. The next hour, how to get more listings and more buyers while having the freedom to only do the things you love to do in 2016 and beyond. That's what we're going to cover today. A short exercise. I really highly recommend that you do this. I would take what you made in 2015. We all know where we're going to be at or really close to it. Divide that by 2,080, which is 40 hours a week, and I all know that we all at least took a week off, or a week here, a week there, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever. So if you want to adjust that, just adjust it accordingly depending on how many weeks you took off. But I'm going to use 2,080. Whatever that number is, that's your hourly wage, okay? And I think this is important in many different reasons. But one is I'm going to ask you a lot of questions as we go through this exercise, and it's all going to boil down to this. What is your hourly wage if you're doing the money-making activities, right? And in 2016, I'm hopefully going to help you to only do the money-making activities and then enjoy the freedom that comes with doing less, a lot less, all right? Get this. So I did a couple. 100,000 divided by 2,080 is $48 an hour. 200,000 at 2,080 is $96 an hour, and I did 300. So if you're anywhere in there, I did the numbers for you. So if you're at 300,000, you're at $144 an hour. That's what you're making per hour if you're working 40-hour weeks, and so this is where it gets fun. If you put this on your computer, put it somewhere, shape, form. You don't even have to put the equation. Just put the number. Put whatever number it is that you make per hour somewhere that you can see it where you spend the most. Put it on your mirror at home. Put it on your computer. Put it everywhere so that you know when you're doing something to do with your business, is it whatever that number is worth doing per hour? That's the question I have to ask. So, okay, so we're going to get into this a lot deeper. A couple quotes. Do you know your why? This is a big one too. And man, a lot of people, when I ask them this, I'm like, man, if you had to wake up tomorrow and say this is the perfect world, whether it's business, whether it's life, whatever it is, what is your purpose? What gets you out of bed? What keeps you? I was up till 2 a.m. last night because I'm just excited about what we're building for 2016. And I got up, I got up the same time I always do. So it's like, what is your purpose? What is your and I love this quote, the purpose of life is the life of purpose. So I just thought I'd show you that. Another one, what is the purpose of your life? What makes you come alive? You know how when you talk to somebody and they start talking about a certain thing and they just get really excited. They start talking faster. They start breathing harder. It's like that's their passion. So I love pulling that out of people and trying to find out what that is. What are your innate strengths? What are you really good at when it comes down to it? Where do you add the greatest value? how will you measure your life? Like when you look back and go, man, that was an awesome 12 months. That was an awesome 2016. Looking forward, what has to happen? Like one of the things, Vicky, you're going to freak out about this, but I really want to learn Spanish. I don't know how long it's going to take me, but it's just something I want to do. I think it's like traveling to different countries and stuff, and everybody speaks Spanish. I just want to be able to communicate with people with different languages, and Spanish is just a really popular language.
I think it's great.
Always ask why. So when I talk to people and I get face to face, I'm like, okay, what is it that drives you? And I'm like, okay, why does that drive you? And we keep going really, really, really deep to find out what that is. And it's amazing once we get there, what that passion is, and then how we can tie that passion into success. It's just kind of like what I just said, passion into success. So that's kind of cool. Everyone is unique, and this is about finding out what you want to be doing, not what you feel you should be doing. Everyone I talk to go, I should. Remember Eric Sachs was on from Breakthrough Broker, and he said, stop shoulding on yourself. I should do this, I should do this, I should do this. Well, what do you want to do, right? So I keep telling my kids to go. My daughter has followed her passion since I think she could walk. She's been an animal lover, like an animal freak. She's in pre-vet at MSU, and I keep driving her to follow her passion. My son, believe it or not, I don't know if I told you this, Vicki, January 4th starts in the banking world. He's working for an internship at a credit union locally here in town, so I'm really excited about that. Wow. And so is he.
That's great.
Kind of cool. So this is my favorite. Do what you love, and you will never work a day in your life. It's the truth. So that's kind of where my daughter's following that path right now. And this is the one that Gary, he says this on video, and I love it. He says, look yourself in the mirror. Ask yourself, what do you want to do for the rest of your life? Do that. That's simple, right? Like whatever it is, do that. Yeah. We have to be, and this is a big one for a lot of people that they have a challenge with, is like we continually have to be jumping off cliffs and developing our wings on the way down. We talk about this all the time. Are you going to scrape and bump your elbows and knees? Absolutely. But there's no way to get to where you want to go if you don't jump first and then grow your wings on the way down. So I love that saying. Thank you, Brother Carl, for that. And then another one that we can't be afraid to do, and when it comes to the hourly wage of what you're making per hour, this is where it just cracks me up. People will spend I don't know how many hours trying to develop a Facebook header for themselves on a PowerPoint, like however they want to do it. They'll spend literally 10 hours. And then you go back and go, okay, that cost you $500. Let me show you where you can get it done for $5, and you could get it done 10 times with 10 different options. And you can still be doing something with your family or playing cards or ping pong or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? So be okay with writing small checks to cash big checks, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So the secret of all top agents find a strategy that is working, then they implement it. Next, they delegate it out, then do more of whatever that is, rinse and repeat, read. I'm going to teach you how to reduce, eliminate, automate, delegate. We have a little rule, and Vicki knows this. If we can't do something that we can't delegate to somebody else, we probably won't do it. Because if it's not the high-end dollar money-making activities that we know we should be doing, then we shouldn't be doing it because it's not the high money-making activities, right? Like making a Facebook header or, oh my God, I'm gonna go over 180. I'm not gonna go over 186 things, but there's 186 things that you do as an agent for each transaction. Maybe not all of them, but there's a lot of them. And we'll walk through a couple and go, hey Vicki, do you think someone else could do this as good or even maybe better, so you could do maybe more marketing to your database or farming or marketing to expireds or FSBOs or making those calls to past clients? You guys follow me here?
Mm-hmm.
All right. As agents, we don't sell pencils, which is a cool thing. Like, man, it's freaky when somebody sells me. It's true though.
Yeah.
Like if you sell a pencil, how much do you make on a pencil or stamps or, when somebody comes to your house selling magazines, how much are they making on those magazines? Think about this. In this industry, it's phenomenal how much somebody can make in this business. Each additional closing brings in an extra, and depending on if you're, my friends in California, those guys triple this in one transaction because their loan amounts are so much higher. So how do you focus on higher loan amounts, which gives you higher income without doing any more work, right? It's kind of an awesome thought there. So we're going to just use numbers. So to increase your business by an extra 2 closings per month, You could have an extra minimum $6,000 per month raise, just 2 per month. Well, an extra 72,000 per year. So what would you do with an extra 6,000? So like go to the beach, maybe buy a new car, a new boat. Maybe you want a new house or update your house or, change your house. Maybe you hire somebody to come in and clean your house or take care of your house or, and this is what I did. And Vicky's like, well, I'm going to get one too. And she hired this one. I'm not sure how that's working out over there, Vicky, but okay.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, he's working up. That's a little boy toy.
He's working there.
He's been hanging around the office a little bit too, so that's kind of freaking me out. But all right. So help people to build a legacy, okay? And that's really what that's my goal is every day. As I wake up and I go, okay, how can I help one more person to have a better life? And that's what we're talking about today. So how do you get an extra $6,000 per month? Put your plan on paper. Analyze your plan every 2 weeks. This is what we do. Make adjustments to your plan. Hang out with others that do the same thing. And here's the cool part about this. When we meet as a group, we meet as a small group down in Florida, what we call the War Room, and we map out the next 12 months. And then we go 90 days. What has to happen in 90 days to make it congruent with the 12 months? And then we go, okay, what do we have to do in the next 2 weeks to make it so that I hit my 90-day goals that's congruent with my 12-month goals? Does that make sense? I would highly recommend finding an accountability partner to do this. And here's the shocking fact about this, is we have our 12-month goal. We have our 90-day goal, and we have our 2-week goal. We meet every 90 days. So when we go back, we look at our last 90 days and go, okay, did we hit it? And what we find most of the time, if we implement the every 2 weeks and we have accountability, is we are hitting our 12-month goals at our 90-day mark. It's insanity because we have accountability every 2 weeks. It's like me saying, hey, Vicky, I need you to walk to California. You're like, okay. Are you going to just follow the sun? You're just going to follow the horizon, right? Like, eventually I'll get there. But if I say, Vicky, hey, there's a street light right down on Drake. It's about a mile up there. You think you can make it there in the next 2 weeks? Absolutely, right? It's like such an easy plan to follow, knowing that eventually I'm going to get to my 12-month goal, which is California, and that's just how it works. So if you guys want to come to Michigan, just hit the first light, and then I'll guide you from there. All right. So the agent roller coaster. So here's another thought for you when doing your business plan, and we're going to help you do your business plan. What is it that you did from the very bottom of the roller coaster that got you to where you're at today, which is the top of the roller coaster? What activities did you do? Mm-hmm. Isn't it? So what activities did you do that got you your 1 deal per month, 2 deals per month, 10 deals per month, 15 deals per month, whatever you're doing? Maybe you had a goal to get 10 agents. Maybe you're a broker owner that maybe you have 100 agents, 600 agents, whatever it is. What allowed you to get to the top of the roller coaster, but now is a huge roller coaster because you have great months like the average salesperson. I'll have a great month because I don't have any business, and then the next month I have business. I go down, and then it looks like this on the way down. Like, right? It's just a dreaded fall. Oh my God, I don't have any business. How am I going to pay my bills? I need to go meet some new clients. I need to get a new listing. I need to get a new buyer. I need to do all this stuff. So what is it that you did to get there? So we can help you with that. What if, and this is so cool, this is just basics, but it's the hardest thing for people to do. So whatever you did to start right here that got you to right here, what if you did nothing but those activities from here to there? And you read everything else. Reduce, eliminate, automate, delegate. Reduce, eliminate, automate, delegate. You're going to see typically a slight dip because you're restructuring and hiring a team to do the stuff that got you here. But then you climb again, and then that's why you see some people go from 0 to 100 to 200 to 300 to 400,000 because they keep getting rid of the stuff they know they shouldn't be doing that isn't the high-end money-making activity because they haven't done this exercise. Is this resonating with people?
Yeah. Oh, I think so. I mean, in fact, if I were you, I would go over that again so that they kind of get that.
Okay, so
you don't have to start over.
Yeah, you don't have to start over. So what did you do the last whatever you accomplished the last 12 months? Like, if you just started in the business, you've been in the business 15 years, you're starting over, whatever it is. Whatever you did to get you to where you're at right now, what are those, and we're going to do a couple exercises here, what are those things that you did to get you there, and then why not keep doing those same things and delegate the rest out? And we're going to cover that in just a minute in greater detail. Okay, so, and it's all comes down to focusing on Pareto's law. The 20% of your income is a result of 20% of your activities. I was out fishing last summer, and the guy goes, 90% of the fish are in 10% of the water. It literally has to do with 80% of the people travel on 20%, like 20% of the people travel on 80% of the roads. It works for everything, right? So how do we focus on the 20% of our income that results in 80% of our activities, or 80% of our income that results in 20% of our activities? Most people have it flipped. Most people are focusing on the 80% of their activities that make up 20% of their income, right? What if you flip that? And commonly, and very uncommon to see, like Bill Gates, he's probably a 99-1. He focuses on one thing, and then he literally delegates everything else. 95-5, 90-10, 90, whatever. So once you figure it out, it's insane how fast you can grow. So how can you use this to be more effective? Which 20% of your sources are like, think about this. I can guarantee you 20% of your clients are causing 80% of your headaches. 20% of your referral partners are causing 80% of your headaches or unhappiness. If you got rid of them, you get rid of 80% of your headaches and all that unhappiness, right? Think about that. Which 20% of your activities are resulting in 80% of your desired outcomes and happiness? So what are you doing that literally makes you so happy that gets you the results that you want? And then the bottom line is, what do you like doing? So how do you know what to focus on without burning out? And that's typically what happens. If you're doing something you don't like, I don't care how much money you're making, you're going to burn out, and it's going to fade. It's going to go away. So here's a little exercise that we love doing. It's called the Triad of Awesomeness. I'm going to grab my pen here again. So in these 3 boxes, and I would highly recommend doing this exercise. We've covered this a couple times the last couple years. But what is it that I love doing? I'm just going to put a little heart here the best I can. All right. What is it that makes me money? And then what is it that I like doing? I love money, and I'm good at. I'm sorry. The last one is I'm good at it. Because, like, I love going fishing, but I guarantee I'm not that good at it, and I guarantee I'm never going to make any money like Kevin Van Dam. He's like a national bass champion. Like, he's the bass master. So and if you start putting, and I would highly recommend doing this exercise. So put in what you love doing, and I'm going to give you a bunch of examples of how to write this down. What is it that's going to make you money? And what are you good at? We have a lady that works with us, one of my partners. She was in the processing world, decided she wanted to be in the mortgage world, like wanted to be a loan officer, had never closed a loan before in her life, knew that she had to like get over her fear of building relationships, engulfed herself in like stuff that she has 2 little kids, so she got to know a bunch of other people that had kids, started hanging around that because she loves her family, loves her kids. It's very, very evident that she does. And so she started doing motherly things with other motherly people, and it's amazing what that has done for her business, right? So she loves hanging around her kids. She loves hanging around family, so why not hang around other people that like hanging around their family? And she started building a business on it. She's just doing an amazing job. So she literally fit her life into her business and made it work. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
If you like horses, I guarantee you, no matter where you live on planet Earth, there's a ton of other people that like horses. Engulf yourself in that, and you will build relationships that are so deep that they want to work with you, because that's just how friends are. If you love boating, if you have a Corvette club, Jeep club, Harley Davidson, like if you love playing ping pong, if you love bingo, like doesn't matter. If you love poodles, if you love Maltese dogs, like it doesn't matter what you do, there's a group for that. There's a ton of people in your area that have the same common interest. Then you can do what you love and have a great business because you're doing business with friends of people that know, like, and trust you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But you can't figure that out unless you do this exercise. So what I love, what makes me money, and what I'm good at. All right. And then this guy, great, I think he writes 4 books a year or one, I don't know, it's insane how much this is what comes out of this guy's mind. But he wrote this book, Eat That Frog. 21 great ways to stop procrastinating, and you don't really need to read it. I'm going to give you the gist of it. He says, first thing in the morning when you get up, whatever you hate doing, just get it done. Eat that frog first thing in the morning, and then you don't have to worry about it the rest of the day. How many people can relate to that? I know I have to do this, and that. Really, like, I hate doing it. I'm just going to get it out of the way, right? Like, for me, exercise, I just can't do that first thing in the morning. Got to have my coffee first, right? So Carl and I, like, you know, why, like, this is the only thing I don't agree with Brian Tracy is, like, why eat that frog when Vicky might like eating that frog, and that's her passion. She gets up in the morning and goes, man, I want to eat that frog. You know, and like Vicky has frogs. She's like, Scott, I can't do this. Like, Vicky, I love doing that. Like, I literally get up early to do that. Like, let me do that. So why not find somebody that can eat your frogs that you hate doing? Just make a list of the stuff you hate doing, and then go, all right, go find somebody that loves doing that stuff. I'm telling you, they're out there. It makes for an amazing life too. All right, we don't need frogs anymore. It's just not good. Okay, so be strategic, not tactical. So workers are 15% strategic, 85% tactical. CEOs are 15% tactical and 85% strategic. So get the tactical stuff off of your plate. Very, 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 very important. Okay. All right. So learn to read, reduce, eliminate, automate, delegate. You have to get rid of this stuff. You can come up with the idea. You can even go, hey, here's the software that's going to do it. You learn it, give me the bullet points, and show me how we're going to incorporate this into our business. How many times do I see a post about a CRM? What CRM is best? I don't know. Why not go hire a college student to research 3, 4, 5? There's trial periods for all of them. Research 3, 4, 5, and say, here's what I want it to do, and have them do it. And they probably have it done in an hour. Like, that's just how they work, you know. It's like, hey, you know, so. And now you're spending time doing something that's money-making activity instead of playing around with the CRM system. The secrets of all top agents. Top agents find a strategy that's working and implement it. Next, they delegate it out, reduce, eliminate, automate, delegate. I cannot stress this enough. Like, it took me a long time to figure this out. I would always find the strategy that works. My passion was making it work and then doing everything that I had to do to delegate it, or like to actually do it instead of delegate it out. I would hang on to it, go, no, this is mine. I want to keep this. Where Vicky knows me well enough now, like, hey, Vicky, check this out. Let me know what you think, you know. And then I try to stay away from it. I try, because my passion is like digging into little cool stuff and strategies and CRMs and websites and blogs and all that stuff. That's like, I love doing that stuff. I don't know why, but I do. But it's not the best use of my time. Like, that cheats my son from time with him, my daughter, my wife. If I'm sitting there on the couch and they're all playing games and I'm on my computer doing something that somebody else can be doing and to implement it for me.
Right.
Building a team, managing a team, and doing it profitably is the single most valuable activity any business will ever do. Or our one that we always, every morning we wake up and go, how do we create, keep, and grow a client every day? How do we create a client, keep a client that we already have, and grow one? So how do we make them even stronger? How do we go deeper with them? That's our little thing we talk about every day. Every Monday we have a meeting about where we're at, who we're talking to. We've put in place ways to build deeper relationships. You got to watch this thing by Simon Sinek. He talks about the break, and he talks about when companies grow or when somebody grows. The people in the company start saying, you know, Vicky, it just doesn't feel like it used to, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Communication goes away, relationships go away. So you have to watch Simon Sinek. One of two things. One, watch the why, and then watch the break. He talks about the break, the curve. He talks about why companies fall apart. It's not about delegating. It's not even about getting more done. This is a big lesson. This is if you only get this one thing today. Getting help is simple. Truth. It's not about even getting an assistant. It's really not. It's more about results, right? With less effort, less stress, and more freedom. Get this. So the 8 words that changed everything, and this is so true, and this is the hardest thing to implement, the less I do, the more I make. because you are focusing on that dollar money-making activity that if it's $144 an hour, think about this, and we're going to go over this in just a minute. It's about letting go. Value yourself and your time. You cannot, like, think about Steve Jobs. How much money would he give for one more minute of life? And he had the money to buy it. You know what I'm saying? You can't get more time. Focusing on the things that bring you the real money and step into your CEO position. What is the least you can do to get the desired result? Effect, right? We talk about, this is a really important lesson too. So when you're doing your business plan, and again, really what it boils down to is how many deals do I want to close? How many people do I need to touch? Because if you go back and say I closed this many deals and I worked with this many buyers and I had this many listings, I can show you how to really easily double your business. You just double the amount of people you talk to, double the amount of buyers you worked with, double the amount of listings that you had, and do whatever you did to get those listings and those buyers, and do nothing else. And I guarantee you'll have so much more freedom and so much more business. You'll have to hire people to help you. So, all right. So, how to make 166% more? Check this out. This is so true. So, when we talk about the 80-20, I'm going to just draw a little pie shape here. So this is the 20. You see that okay, Vic?
Yep, I see it good.
And this right here is the 80%. So what is the 20% that's getting you 80% of your work, okay? So if I was making $100,000, all right?
Right.
One more. And I only did the 20% that made me 80% of my income. I could literally, I think it's an hour. What is 20% of 8 hours? An hour and 46 minutes or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless, so 8 times 20%. It's an hour. It's 1.6 hours. So if I go home after 1.6 hours, I'm still going to make $80,000. And guys, there's no joke to this. This is the true fact. If you break this down in your business, you're going to find out that 20% of your activities equals 80% of your outcome all day, every day. So it's like, okay, well, I don't really want to give up the 20,000. So what if I only do the 20% again, right? So this 20 is for that 80, and this 20 is for that 80. See how that works? I just doubled my income.
Yep.
So if I do whatever got me the 80%, and I do it again, now I'm working 3.2 hours a day, and I've doubled my income.
You've paid for the, and that's huge. That's hugely powerful to see how you can do that. Yeah.
I know.
So it's already paid for, and you're working less. Mm-hmm.
Yep. There you go.
Your staff, the people that you implement, people that you hire to implement the things that you don't want to do. Yeah.
Yep. So what's our lesson? Are we doing something that we hate doing? Most of us are. And, the funny part about that is when you start living this life, when you start literally focusing on the 20% that makes you 80%, farming, delegating, reading the rest, it literally, we're so used to just driving, like getting up at the crack of dawn and going, like working till 9, 10. I don't know how many people I talk to. I literally get chills talking about this because I know that I can help them. It's just making a list of everything they do all day long and going, okay, who else can do that? Like, do you really absolutely positively have to do this? And you have to be honest with yourself. You have to check your ego at the door and go, do you really have to do this? I'm going to go over a couple of these things here in a minute. Are we doing work that a clerk or an assistant could be doing? Are we inventing tasks? This is a big one that I hear a lot. Are we inventing tasks so that we can trick ourselves into thinking that we are being productive? Think about that one.
Yeah.
Inventing. Yeah, man. I was on Facebook for 3 hours. I got to get on Facebook. How many people on this call, and answer me yes, spend more than an hour a day in their email? Be honest with yourself, and I guarantee it's probably 2 or 3 hours. Okay. Putting into action. Write down a list of items that you do every day. And this is, you have to, like, for your business plan 2016, this is my challenge for you. I want you to do this actually. I would love to see you send me a private message on Facebook and send me your list that you made in the exercise that I'm going to share with you right now, because it'll change your life. I'm telling you, my friend, it will change your life. This is what we do every single day. So here's a small list. Check emails, make lunch, return calls, talk to clients already in progress, work on website, work on CRM, home inspections, attending webinars, social media, calling leads, calling past clients, monthly mailers, farm and neighborhood, video marketing, bookkeeping, payroll, plan a day, attend weekly classes, MSAs, handwritten notes, go to closings, market to physicals expires, listing presentations, show homes, talk to loan officer calls. Take loan officer calls, right? I put a hee-hee in there because you need to take those from your loan officers, right? Okay.
Right.
Get this. So I found a link. Get this. So here's pre-listing activities for one listing. Make an appointment with seller for listing presentation. Send a written or email confirmation of appointment and call to confirm. Review appointment request questions. Research all comparable currently listed properties. Think about all this stuff. So let me just start right here. Vicki.
Yeah.
Do you think you have to be the one to make the appointment with the seller? If you were Vicki Incorporated, Vicki Real Estate, do you have to be the one to make that appointment?
No.
Do you have to send a handwritten or email confirmation of appointment and call to confirm?
Nope.
Do you have to review appointment questions? Research.
No.
I mean, think about this. Do you have to research anything? Do you physically have to do download, prepare, obtain, research, verify legal description, research, verify, prepare, perform, compile, confirm, current public school, explain, review? Do you have to do any of that?
No. All that I
just wiped
expect
20 things off your
is
plate.
to have it done for me on my desk, ready for me to rock and roll.
Yep. Let's keep going. Listing appointment presentation. How about this? Do you have to do any of this? Give seller an overview of current market conditions and projections. That would be a good use of your time.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
Mm-hmm.
Review agent and company credentials and accomplishments. You can do that. Present company profile and position. Present CMA results. Offer professional. Like this would probably be something you would do because you're face-to-face with the client. Explain market power and web marketing. Explain the work of the broker agent. Explain agent's role in screening qualified buyers to protect against. Like you probably should do this part, right?
Yeah, face-to-face part.
Check this out. Check this. So that would be highly great use of your time.
Right.
So if you go to this link and to get a copy of this PowerPoint, there's 184 tasks that agents do for you. When I talk about for you, is for a buyer, seller, whatever. Go through that. Here's the challenge. Here's the exercise that I would like to see is write down what you did or what you do on a daily basis to get to where you're at right now. And then here's the exercise. Pick one thing that you will be doing 8 hours a day, 5 days a week for the next 2 weeks, and we can wait till after Christmas and after New Year, that if you don't do this one thing in the 90 days, you're out of business. One thing. Okay?
Yep.
And here's the other cool thing. I'm going to let you pick two. Not number one and number two, but two number ones. Two things that if you don't do them for 8 hours a day the next 2 weeks, that you're out of business. In fact, I'm going to give you one more. So pick three things of the things you do on a daily basis that if you don't do them for 8 hours a day for the next 90 days, you're out of business. And then once you pick those things, what would your business look like just in 90 days? And then you go back to go, all right, holy crap, what would it look like? And then you go, how do I remove, automate, element, reduce, eliminate, automate, delegate everything else? And literally your list that you made up, you're going to pick three, and you're going to have a very detailed description of an assistant and what their description is going to be. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
You pick three things, everything else is going to be done by somebody else, and you just need to find that person. So you need to put an ad in the Craigslist, Indeed, Monster, whatever, and say, I'm looking for somebody to do these 25, 30, 40, 50, 180 things for me.
Yeah, LinkedIn. Mm-hmm.
LinkedIn, it doesn't matter, yeah. You might even know a friend, title company, local realtors, lender relationships that have somebody. Like you just start talking about it. Say, I'm looking for this person to do these things. What would that look like? And what would that do for your income and your freedom? It's insane. Typically, the big dollar is made consulting with current and past clients, which we talked about, and building deeper relationships. Strategic, not tactical. Tactical is doing all that other stuff that needs to be done to get to the listing, you know what I mean? Or after the listing, or during the process, right? All that stuff.
Would you say tactical would be more administrative? When you say tactical,
totally. Yeah.
Okay.
Anything that's not to do with this right here, consulting with your current and past clients, and building deeper relationships. Really, anything else besides that? I mean, and here's the thing. Here's the crazy thing about this. You can hire someone to even help with this. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about that in just a second. What would that look like? It gets pretty scary when someone else is actually helping you build deep relationships with your clients and actually communicating and consulting with your clients while you're out on a beach somewhere sucking on a margarita.
Right.
Remember me saying it's not always about getting more clients. It's about keeping the ones you already have. And I'm telling you, that's the biggest thing that I think most of us, every time I speak or talk to a group of people, I say, how many people market to their past database? And 2 or 3 hands go up. I'm like, oh my God. And like the average person has 2, 3, 400, 500, 1,000 people that they've done business with. Let's just call. I had a good friend of mine send a text to a bunch of leads that came in. I think it was over 1,000 leads that came in through some website, and he just sent a text to all of them because he had their number. He got 8 new leads that came in just from a text saying, hey, I was just wondering if you're still in the housing market, looking to buy a home, and I'd love to work with you. I heard, just a simple text like that. Crazy, right? Nobody ever follows up. Nobody communicates with them. Nobody builds a deep relationship with them.
No.
So what? Go ahead.
They seem to, I know a lot of the agents that I've worked with always are looking for the next new client instead of the one that they just closed, and keeping that relationship open and community, so that there's a referral base coming there. So. Yeah.
Okay, and I think you answered the definition of tactical versus strategic.
Oh, did I?
So what do you outsource? The things that you are currently doing that drain you, you have to get those off your plate. If you hate doing it, if you say, man, I can't, if I have to do that again, I'm just going to I hate it. It gives you a headache. If it gives you a headache, for sure, get it off your plate. The things you need to be doing, but you have been neglecting, your frogs, right? So, although I should do this, I should do that. Well, why can't someone else do that? If you haven't been doing it, it's not hurting you. Why can't someone else, if they do it, it's going to be 110% better because they're going to do it. A lot of times I work with a lot of people, and they always say, man, I did it for the first 2 or 3 weeks, and then like a New Year's resolution, and the first 2 months, and then it was working so good, then I stopped. I'm like, why'd you stop? Because I got too busy. Too busy with what? The tactical stuff. You got busy with all the stuff that comes with business. Like people coming in the door and asking for to find them a home and drive around and build relationships and stuff like that. That's what you got busy with? Yeah. Well, what if you hired someone to do all the tactical stuff and you kept doing the driving around so you didn't have to do the tactical stuff? What would that look like? You would have one roller coaster that never stopped. It just kept going up. All right. So why should you get an assistant? When should you get at a certain units per month? When I'm not too busy, when I'm too busy, like I just talked about, like, hey, oh man, I got all my business now I need an assistant. Do you think that in NASCAR, like they go, all right, hey, guess what? Hey guys, we'll get that fast engine when we win the NASCAR 500, the Indy 500. How about the Detroit Lions? Yeah. When are they going to get that quarterback? When hopefully someday they'll do something. But I found the Detroit Lions, and I probably got a few laughs out of that. But I seen the thing the other day that said, "We're try it again next year." Try it again next year. We've been doing that since how long? All right. So what? Yeah, we'll hire that quarterback as soon as we win the Super Bowl. Doesn't work like that, man. Doesn't work. You got to hire that assistant now if you want to have more freedom, more coolness factor. Up your income, more business, and so we're going to talk about it. I can't afford one. Here's the thing. If you can't afford one, because you are the one. If you look at how much you make per hour, and you go, okay, would you hire somebody to do your handwritten, would you hire somebody at $48 an hour to do handwritten letters for you?
Yeah, no.
No, you wouldn't. So why are you doing it? Right? That's the question you have to ask yourself. So the reason you can't afford one because you are one. Good assistants are free. They bring you money. That's the best part of an assistant. If they're they could call your past database. If you're not calling your past database, what if you just hired someone to call your past database and say, hey, Vicky wanted me to give you a call. There's a little sticky note on your file here, and it says you're so awesome to work with. And, man, if I could hit that universal reset button and only work with people like you, Mrs. Smith, my world would be an amazing place to be. So how are you guys doing? Awesome. Say, hey, who do you know that's thinking about buying or selling a home? Is there anybody I can help out that's friends, family, or coworkers? And then a lot of people go, well, I don't want to act salesy. Well, okay, so let me ask you this. If you, who just bought a car on here and how long ago? 5 years ago? Like, I do this all the time. So if your guy called you and said, hey, that car, hey, this is Scott from ABC Motors, and I just call him, man, dude, how's that car running for you? It's running great. You still got it? Yes, no, it doesn't really matter. Oh, by the way, hey, so you're going to drive that thing till the wheels fall off? Probably. Cool. Hey, do you have any friends or family that's looking to buy a new car that could help out? Are they going to be pissed? No, they're not going to be mad. That's what you do. We're in sales. All right. So what is it costing you not to do something? 2 closings, $3,000, $6,000 per month, times 12, 72,000 a year. Start thinking a new way. What is it costing you not to have that assistant? Think about it that way. What is it costing you not to hire that person to call your database? What is it costing you not hire the person to do handwritten thank yous? What is it costing you to not have somebody follow up on your current leads in process that are out looking for homes? What is that costing you not to have that person? Right? You could hire someone for $50,000 a year, real high end, right? That could do a lot of the tactical stuff that's not real good at getting sales, because we as salespeople have a knack for like building relationships. We just don't have a knack for following up and sitting down and doing the tactical stuff, because that's just not our DNA. But someone else has that DNA in them to do that stuff. All right. So what does your assistant do? 184 tasks, probably all of them, but the ones that actually physically have to do with meeting with clients. Everything that I don't want to, all my frogs. So this link, I'm going to take this right here. Whoops. I'm going to open that up real quick, and I'm going to post this right down just so you guys have it. There's a little thing, polls, handouts, chat. There's a chat at the bottom on the right-hand side. I'm going to post this down there, this link, so you guys can have it, okay? I just posted it to all, so you guys can click on the link down there in the bottom right, all right? So here it is. Pre-listing, listing, after listing agreement is signed, enter property and MLS data. I mean, this is a really cool list. I love this thing. Follow up after closing. So you could probably add another 100 things to it. Phone call every 3 months, email every week, postcard every month. So you could probably add some stuff. Maybe it's in there. I don't know. I didn't look at it. All right. Everything that I want to do, tactical items, which is exactly what you said, Vicki. So pretty much 95% of all that stuff on that list is tactical.
Right.
All right. What do? Market the FSBOs, expired listings, and past clients. Plan your marketing, not necessarily implement it. Farm a new area. Call your leads. Find an accountability partner. Here's what I would do is I'd find an accountability partner, and I would map this out the next 12 months, next 90 days. What do I got to do in 2 weeks? Write them a check for $1,000 and say, if I don't do this, you get to cash it, and be real about it. Prospecting, talent search, team building, mastermind with other like-minded people, strategic planning every 2 weeks. Only the things that you want to do, strategize.
Even in our weekly meetings that we have accountability. If we don't, follow up and do what we say, we have to pay. So
Absolutely.
Even the assistants, even everybody. So.
Absolutely, Vicki. Yeah, and I was going to say that. Yep. So we have accountability every single week. But I'm a control freak. That's what I hear all the time. I got to do it. I got to do all that stuff. Got to do it. What do you look like? What if you walked into the doctor's office? I love this. You walk into a doctor's office, and the window opens, and it's the doctor, and he says, "Hey, Vicki, come on in. How you doing?" And the doctor walks you back to the office, the room. He says, "Oh, go right in here," and he checks your blood pressure. And then he pulls open his laptop. So Vicki, so how you been? And he's talking to you, and he all done. He walks you back out to the front. He does up the billing, and wouldn't you be like, what is going on here, right? Think about that. Let me ask you this. This is the conductor of the Boston Pops. What instrument does this guy? I asked this to my family the other day. I'm like, what instrument? This dude was playing. We were watching something. I said, what instrument does that guy play? The guy that's waving the baton. And they're like, I don't know, probably all of them. I'm like, maybe. I said, and it's kind of funny because I asked them the question. They had no idea what I was talking about. I'm like, okay, who makes the most money? That guy does. This is how they answered. My kids even answered it. I said, okay, who has the parking spot right outside the building at the Boston Pops? That guy does. Huh, interesting. And then I go, well, who hired that guy? I said, I don't know. But they didn't know where I was going with it. But I'm like, think about that. This guy playing the instruments makes the most amount of money, the least amount of effort to make the most amount of money, that guy. 80% is good enough. So if you hire somebody, think, and you know what, and honestly, if you're not doing something that you know is high-end money-making activity, call in your past database. Somebody else could do that for you. 80% is good enough. If someone's doing something you know you should be doing, but you're not because of should have this, should have that, if something got in the way or this, or you're growing your business, like we go 80% is good enough. Most of the time what you're going to find is if you find the right person, I'm going to talk about that in a second, it'll be better than what you could do it.
Right.
All right. My clients need to talk to me about all things. I just talked about this. Do you need to talk to your doctor? Hey, what if you went to a concert, and I'm just going to use somebody, like who's somebody that's really popular right now? Justin Bieber. All right? Everybody hates Justin Bieber, right? So what if you got to a Justin Bieber concert, and he's setting up his own band, and he's helping the band set up, and he's checking the check 1 2, check 1 2, and he's checking his mics, and you'd be like, what the heck is he doing, right? He just shows up, man. He's got his mic on. He's ready to roll. His band's there playing. Like, that's just not cool. So that's the whole idea behind you are the CEO now. You're not the guy that's setting up the band. Here's the script if somebody else is doing it for you. Dr. Butler's story. So Vicki does this all the time. She's great at it. She goes, hey, Scott wanted me to give you a call and just check in, see how you're doing. So the people are thinking Scott called me, right? It works. Trust me, it works. How many people have got a call from a doctor that they actually visited for anything, surgery or anything, like the doctor physically called you? I don't know of anybody. The receptionist, their assistant called you and said, hey, Dr. Butler wanted me to call you and see how you're doing. But in your mind, you feel that Dr. Butler called you. And then to turn it over, it's like, hey, Toby's my partner. He specializes in this and will help you with that. So if you're hey, Scott wanted me to call you. Also, I'm going to be the one helping you through the transaction and making sure that you're happy and communicating with you on a weekly basis. And Scott wanted me to just call and introduce myself. And he just said you guys are so awesome to work with. And, man, he said if he could hit that universal reset button and only work with people like you, his world would be so amazing. And I can't wait to get to know you guys better and really look forward to seeing you guys in your new home. So do you have any questions for me right now? Like, how would people be upset? What do people want when they're buying a home? What do they want? They want their home.
They want to be heard.
They don't care about anything else.
Yeah.
Right? Show your clients you are professional. Keeps you accountable. Makes you step up to the plate. Don't do things the way I would have. They may do them better. So when you hire somebody to do it and they go, hey, Scott, I think this, like Vic, you do this, like, hey, what about this way? I'm like, I didn't even know that way existed. Because I have my ways, you have your ways. Like, you may do it, you may find a better way to do it than I do. You may have a better, script than I do. Like, however you do it, is 80% as good? It's probably going to be better. Be open that your team might come up with ideas to do stuff better than what you were doing it, or more process-driven or more systems-driven and better workflow, checklists and stuff like that. Be okay with that. Reduce, eliminate, automate, delegate. What else can I stop doing today? Did a little thing with Carl, and he said, hey, for the next 6 weeks, I want to have you stop doing something every week. I don't care what it is, big or small. I want you to stop for the next 6 weeks and see how it goes. First week, piece of cake. Second week, piece of cake. Third week, started getting harder. It's like, oh, crap, I got to stop doing stuff. It's amazing how hard that got, but how gratifying it was, because it's not that I had to stop doing it. It's just somebody else had to do it. As long as the definition of automation is I don't do it. So when you delegate, make sure you have a deadline. Say, okay, hey, I would like this. Hey, I want you to check out the CRM system. When might you think you could have me back some answers? Tomorrow by 5, Friday by 5, whatever. Just so I can have expectations of when to expect something back. Have them repeat that back to you are expecting them to do and when it's expected to be done. Ask them if there are any obstacles that they can see that will keep them from happening. Don't just farm out your work stuff. Delegate your personal stuff too, and don't feel guilty about it. Recharge your batteries. It's okay to farm stuff out. Here's a little trick for the guys on the call. So if your wife asks you to build something, just make it the worst looking thing that you can do on planet Earth, and she'll never ask you to build anything again. That's talking from experience. She asked me to build a step, and it was brutal. I actually really didn't know how to build a step, but it was like so funny. I think she still laughs about that, and that was 20 years ago. So I don't build anything anymore. All right, so where to find assistants? Title companies, real estate offices, restaurants, Craigslist, Indeed, LinkedIn, smiling faces at cash registers. Tell your friends you are looking for someone. Facebook. Facebook's a great one. Do you share your assistant? Man, if you find an assistant that's good and like you don't have enough for them to do, it's a great way to do it, because like just as long as they're doing some of the same things, make a list of all the stuff that you're doing. And I mean, if you're a real estate agent in the same office, more than likely they're going to do the same exact stuff. Maybe tweak it here or there, and maybe between the two of you come up with a better process with an assistant. Make sense? Yeah,
actually, I did that for several years. So I was shared. It's actually billable time. And any attorney's office, they have it's billable time. So when their assistants are working on files, they bill that those hours to that particular attorney. So that's
Perfect.
How it works.
Okay, that makes sense. So how much do I pay them? I would say, how much is it costing you not to pay them? Right? I mean, like 10, 12, 15 bucks an hour, like start out on a trial period, find out. Like, and if it's part-time, like hire somebody for 4 hours a week and say, I need these things done for like 2 hours a day, 1 hour a day, like whatever it is. Start them off on a 60-day trial. Have your assistant create a how-to book. And like as they start to do stuff, how did you do that? Like, what systems did you put in place? What checklist did you put in place to make sure that it gets done on every file, on every client, on every lead, on everything? Like, start to do a how-to book. So that if they decide to go do what you do, like a lot of people ask, well, if I teach them everything, they're going to go do what I do. No, some will, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting. Like, you don't have to worry about that because there's always someone there. I mean, like, maybe there'll be one of your agents that works with you or under you or a partner or however. Who cares? It's all about growing your business. You can't be scared about teaching somebody something, and that keeps you from more business and more freedom and stuff like that. You can't be scared about that. Which employee costs you the most? Here's a good exercise for you. 1 is superior, 4 is excellent, 4% are excellent. We don't go below that bar. 15% is good, 60% is fair. If the good employees will cost you the most. I'm telling you, it's just not. You need superior, excellent. We stay above this bar. All right. Never do the assistants work because they aren't doing it good enough. 3 choices: retrain, replace, or release. You have to make sure they're trained. A lot of people don't take the time or patience to train them properly. You have to put that in your time frame. You have to put that in. You have to be available for them. There's a couple ideas for you. So yeah, but what if my assistant leaves me and becomes, and I already talked about that, get another one. What you do is a lot harder than it looks to an assistant. We have a lady that thought she could be a loan officer with one of my partners. She hasn't closed anything in 3 months. It's a lot harder than people think. You know that. If they are bothering me with questions all day long, isn't it just easier if I do everything myself? The 1 Minute Manager Meets the Monkey. Great book to read. It's a short read. It's real easy. The 1 Minute Manager Meets the Monkey. So here's what you do. You put this on your desk, and you have a little thing facing away from you, and it says, here's the situation. Here's what I did. And this is for your assistant. Here's the results of what I did. Here's my question. So they can't just come to you with a question without doing some homework, because there's no way they're going to learn if you just keep doing it for them. Here's the situation. Here's what I did. Here's the results of what I did. Here's my question. Okay? Hiring a virtual assistant, in-house assistant, in your own town assistant. So reasons to hire an assistant: can complete a lot of tasks for low cost, free your time up from making money and building relationships, help you focus on your 80-20, helps you delegate tasks that you don't want to be working on or shouldn't be doing yourself. The range of skills you can find in a VA is limitless. It's insanity. So, guys, I know it's at the top of the hour, and I want to end right there, answer any questions you might have, and wish you guys all a exciting, fun, and very fulfilled holiday season. don't miss next week. We're going to be doing a class on marketing to your database, which if you only do that one thing, and the other cool thing about it is you can delegate that out to somebody else to market to your database. Vicki and I are going to be doing that. And then mark your calendars for January 12th. I don't know what January 5th is going to be yet, but I will we'll get the invites out to you. But January 12th, mark your calendars. We're going to do a drone class with a professional who knows how to get this approved for you real estate agents, and he's going to tell us what's currently happening and then what's coming down the road, which is crazy exciting. It's you want to get in on this before it happens. So can't stress that enough. It's going to get crazy. So Vicki, thank you so much for being here, my friend. Thank you for everything you do. Appreciate you. Happy holidays to everybody. Very Merry Christmas. And we'll see you guys next week. Same time, same place on Agent Mastermind. Take care, everybody. Have a great, wonderful holiday season. Bye-bye.